I think there's a general sense that a lot of service providers are going to the cloud because they fear Amazon. A lot of the enterprises are building private cloud because they're afraid that their internal employees are using Amazon, therefore putting sensitive information at risk. I don't think that's the case. There's enough evidence coming. Certainly most of our customers don't believe that's the case. I think what's really happening is the leadership and innovation, and most importantly, the market traction that's demonstrated by Amazon really opened a lot of people's eyes. The enterprises now realize there's a way they can run their infrastructure a lot more efficiently. The service providers realize they can actually derive more business out of the same set of real estate they either leased or owned, out of the same set of servers they have in those data centers. The main thing that infrastructure cloud enables IT to do is enable IT to be more efficient. These days, it doesn't matter at the end of the day where your physical machines are deployed. Which Fortune 500 company actually cares they own the physical real estate that house their data center? Probably very few do, right? And then you kind of go from there. In some sense, there's a lot of outsourcing already. So I think this worry that infrastructure as a cloud service, or for that matter, pretty much any type of cloud service, would really, reduce the role of IT is unfounded. And the reality is, server utilization is just low across the board. So anything you can do to bring that utilization up from 5%, 10%, which is probably closer to reality today, whether the servers are virtualized or not, to better utilization is just net gain. One of our customers is a very large managed service provider who's always in business of providing managed hosting services for multinational enterprises. But instead of just selling the resulting virtual machines, bits and pieces to small businesses or developers, sort of in more of a retail setting, what they're doing is they're taking big chunk of their data center and then turn around and selling it to a large enterprise. So essentially, if you think about it, this really in the end turns into a private cloud, but it's actually a hosted private cloud. Another example would be fairly large development companies, web companies that run large web-facing workload on-premise. And they've always had a problem of managing large number of machines. And historically, they've written their own scripts. They've essentially done it more at the application level, right? And by deploying the infrastructure as a service layer, essentially they no longer have to worry about turning on machines, provisioning physical machines, turning off machines. This infrastructure as a service model is really taking off. Are majority of the cases where customers are simply wanting to provide self-service infrastructure provisioning, so their internal users, or if they're a service provider, their external customers can get access to the underlying infrastructure without much intervention, without much human labor, out of their IT department or customer service organization. You should absolutely build a cloud if you are thinking of putting more machines in your data center. The technology is ready, the business case is extremely clear, the savings are obvious.